An exclusive preview of the Honda NSX or the Acura NSX, how it's sold in the US, the super sports car by Honda or Acura. Going to take a detailed look on the exterior, interior and the technological features. 3 electric engines and 581 horsepower. Let's hear more about that on Autogefühl, your #1 resource for in-depth car reviews and your #1 community to discuss cars. Today with Thomas, and everything again in full HD, full screen and full length. Let's go. So let's see what you can get for about 200,000 euros. A low-sitting super sports vehicle with a carbon fiber front lip, a very sharp front and super flat and a symmetrical design. You can see it right here. And very nicely done LEDs. And in this case, they also do not flicker on the camera. So very well done also from our shooting perspective. I want to hear your opinion. What do you think about the design if you compare it to other super sports cars? Really looking forward to that. And 2 electric engines, they sit on the front axle. We'll soon take a look under this front hood to take a look at them and also take a look at the main power engine in the rear. 4.48 m or 14'8" is the total length, and it's pretty much the same length in the Honda Civic Type R, which is next to this super sports car vehicle. It looks longer because it is so super flat. Also with 20-inch rims equipped, and it really has this supercar shape with massive shoulders, of course, for the rear air intake for this 3.5-liter engine. Well, if you ask yourself, why should I give 200,000 bucks for a Honda super sports car instead of a McLaren? Maybe it could be the styling, because that is really impressive what we see here with this LED light signature. Also again with the symmetrical split right there, and then massive exhaust pipe. Well, this is the outer frame. The rear ones are in there 1, 2, 3, 4. And they sound pretty amazing, I think. So, and the engine, first of all, something about 100 liters here in the boot. This is the cover for the car, just to store some bags, but you know, probably only not being used for the racetrack. And then the NSX engine, 3.5 liter of displacement, 581 horsepower, and the acceleration to 100 kilometers or 62 miles an hour is 2.9 seconds. This petrol engine gives then the energy also for the electric engine, so it's not a plug-in hybrid. And there's another electric engine sitting for the rear wheels. So 2 for the front wheels, 2 electric engines, 1 electric engine for the rear wheels. So we'll have an all-wheel drive for the whole car. So you cannot store some bags under the front hood because they've put the electric engines here. Here also the separate coolers for the 2 electric engines. And that there are some electric engine parts. You can see here those orange cables. That is always an indicator that something is going on the high voltage. So, accessing here the door handles, pretty interesting system. We've seen it with the Aston Martin as well, I think. Then inside of the doors, some Alcantara is used here. I'm not sure if it's leather red or real animal skin, but the red is still the racing scheme. And if we move on over to the interior, they use also microfiber on the inside of the seat, and sadly real animal skin on the outside. At least the brochure says so. So it's different from the Honda Civic Type R. Nice contour stitches on the inside. You see, it already offers you a lot of side support. At the steering wheel we have, I think it is a McLaren style, also with using the carbon fiber there. So of course a very sporty cockpit, and wow, how low this car is really sitting. And whoa, let's get in here. Yeah, you sit extremely low as you would expect it. have a quite good overview still to the front. And this one is really driver focused here with the shifting pedals. You have an extremely good grip handle here at the steering wheel. So you can really put your fingers right in there. They have a very high grip right there. Well, to the rear you can't see actually much, but on the racetrack basically you should only watch forward to be the fastest driver then. It's also the question if this car will ever be on the racetrack or if it will be just a collector's car. But at least it is layouted to be on the very racetrack. Cockpit overview is interesting that we can see the symmetrical split in the middle part here. Everything else has a little bit carved, like in artwork. Seeing it, for example, here in this aluminum style. Microfiber cover for the glove box, which is of course pretty slim. Then also a rather slim middle tunnel, and as I'm sitting a little bit longer here now in the car, it's not too uncomfortable. And actually when I compare it also to other super sports cars, this one here pleases me more from the comfort. Also headroom wise, there's plenty left, although the car looks so flat on the outside. And if you remember, for example, when I did a static review of the recent Lamborghini cars, I could hardly fit in there with 1.86 m or 6'1". This is also, for example, an advantage here. Then the infotainment unit here looks pretty much as we have seen from the all-new Honda Civic, for example, soon more deals to that. And as, again, we've seen in McLaren cars, we can pick the driving modes here also in the middle console. We also have a digital display we soon take another detailed look at. Overall, I think it's very, it's a mix between clean lines and then a little bit playing around with artwork. And I think this could also inspire some non-super sports cars from Honda, probably for the future design in the interior. What would you say if a normal Honda would look like this in the interior? Would be looking forward to your feedback on that. So those ones are the digital instruments right there. And if you go for the driving modes, for example, in the middle console, you can see, wow, how they change to Sport Plus when the stability control is drawn back. So a nice visualization, definitely. Maybe it would have looked better if the screen is more in a widescreen format. But overall, I mean, nice animation and looked a little bit computer game-alike. Or what do you think? NSX visualization for the infotainment screen. And the infotainment screen itself is basically the same as we also know it from other current Honda vehicles. You have this basic app view, for example, but also can go to the GPS. Let's see your home button right there. Here, go for the navigation. Let's see if we can zoom around in there, right there. Also capacitive that you can zoom in and out like this. You can connect your phone via Bluetooth, but also smartphone connection, so you can put it in with the cable. Climate unit, I think it's really high class. It reacts very fast. Also the haptical side, it feels very good. The driving mode, you've seen how they changed the instruments, also with this quiet mode. Really funny. By the way, 270 kilometers maximum allowed with the winter tires. Don't drive faster than 270 unless you have summer tires on. Pretty fun fact. Then to put in reverse gear or neutral or then the drive mode, you click on those buttons as we experience in our McLaren reviews. Well, the trunk is small, glove box small. Here you can put the key, for example, or maybe smartphone here, because here you can also charge it. You got the HDMI slot, but also USB slot where you can also connect it then with, the smartphone mirroring function. So when I first heard about the Acura NSX or the Honda NSX, I really wondered, why should Honda build a super sports vehicle, and why would anyone possibly consider that against a McLaren or a Lamborghini, a Porsche 911 Turbo S, whatever, anything 200,000, 250,000 euros or dollars. But now, as I took a look at it from the exterior and the interior, I can really understand it, because it really appears to be a very amazing vehicle. I mean, the styling for a super sports car is really great. The interior build quality seems great. How you sit in the car, it seems very spacious for a super sports car, and also has, definitely comfortable seats. Yeah, I mean, we could have some leatherette on the outside of the seats, but then I would be definitely satisfied. And of course, to serve a moral or ethical purpose. Yes, of course, sports cars make no sense at all. That being said, we can continue on with looking at this car, and I can really prove the point that Honda can obviously build super sports cars. Maybe at some points we can also prove that on a racetrack, but what we've seen here on the static side, they can really keep up with the very famous, well-known other super sports cars brand, and that is definitely a surprise to me. Also with the concept, interesting to have this V6 bi-turbo then, and also with the electric engines we have in the front. So again, to explain it, for the rear axle you have the petrol engine plus the electric engine driving the rear wheels, plus then the two front engines there, the electric engine just for the front axle. So there's no combination, but of course they work together to give this awesome acceleration. So, hope you enjoyed this one here. If you did so, tell us in the comments, and then also see you at the very next Autogefühl full review.